Jason, you've got something of a hot take, right?
Yeah, there's a car here on Old Woodward that gets something right that so many other cars get wrong.
Drawing Conclusions. I'm your host, Craig Cole, but more importantly, I'm joined by our resident design expert, Jason White. We're here at the 30th annual Woodward Avenue Dream Cruise. We're in downtown Birmingham, Michigan right now. This is billed as the single largest one-day car event in the world. It attracts something like 1 million different spectators, plus around about 40,000 classic cars. And if you've never been to this event before, put it on your bucket list. It's absolutely fantastic. But Jason, we're here to talk about a very special vehicle, special to you.
Yeah, special to me. It's my favorite car of all time, and that's a very hard list to come up with because there's so many that I do like as a designer. But if I had to pick one that really I love more than any, it would be the Studebaker Avanti. And we have 4 beautiful examples here on Old Woodward in Birmingham. And we're starting here with the original 63 Avanti, and I'll get into how you can tell the difference between an original and the successors to the Avanti. But this is a car designed by French expatriate Raymond Loewy, a very famous designer who worked in all kinds of different design. It's better to call him an industrial designer. He designed locomotives, logos for a lot of corporations, automobiles.
So car designer does not do him justice.
No, he did a lot more than just car design. But as far as cars go, this is probably his most famous design.
What makes it your favorite design?
I think
it's certainly an attractive car.
It's an attractive car. The thing that makes it my favorite more than anything is that it's completely unique. I mean, you can look at a lot of cars and say to yourself, okay, this is cribbing from this one a little bit. I don't think you can say that the Avanti steals or cribs from anything, really. It's its own vehicle. It's so unique. There's nothing like it before or since. And you can drive this car down the road and it'll still get looks from people because it's so unique all this time after. And this is a 63 automobile.
So what does the Avanti here do properly that very few other cars do?
Well, the design team for the car, when they got together, they did it in Palm Springs, California in a rented house. Loewy assembled a team out there because they wanted to be far away from South Bend. They wanted to have a unique perspective on things. One thing that Loewy...
Skunk Works.
Yeah, it was like a Skunk Works, absolutely. One thing that Loewy definitely wanted in this vehicle, he put forth the notion that front ends date cars. So, and that is something that happens a lot today. You have cars that have a very unique grille across sometimes the entire line of automobiles under one brand. As soon as you change that grille, you now have put the other ones in a situation where they look obsolete to the buyer.
Yeah.
And instead of doing that, Loewy wanted the car to have a very clean face.
Yeah, I mean, if you look, where's the grille? It's just a flat panel.
It's a bottom breather.
Yeah, because so the air for the radiator comes in through the bottom.
So the irony is that you have a car here that is defined by the fact that it has no face. You could continue with this face forever, and still you wouldn't have to replace it. It also has a Coke bottle shape, which Loewy also designed the modern Coke bottle. It was based on a previous design that had a little bit more shape to it, but he's essentially responsible for the modern Coke bottle, the glass one. And if you look at, you can see the Coke bottle. If you look at it down the side, it's very visible. This is a fiberglass car, and considering the fact that it's fiberglass, the panel fit is very good. The form execution is very, very good. One thing that they had to do in production is they had to put a flat edge along this
on the fender
because what you have here is a lap joint of 2 pieces of fiberglass. The original model that was designed in Palm Springs had a point. And so for production, they had to change it to this flat so that it would feasibly be able to be bonded together. You can always tell an original Avanti by a few things. One, the Studebaker crests that you find around the car. the round headlights that are on the front, although late in the run with Studebaker, they did have square bezels to end the run.
Mm-hmm.
This car was supposed to save Studebaker. The guy who was running Studebaker
How
at the time.
did that go? I don't remember.
It didn't work, but Sherwood Egbert was the guy who ran Studebaker at the time, and they were in financially bad shape, and they needed a car to announce to people that Studebaker was back and alive and well, and this was to be that car. Unfortunately, it didn't work out, obviously. But after Studebaker finished their run of this car, the rights to the car and the tools and everything were bought by a dealer in South Bend. This is the car on that end over there, the Avanti II, which is a continuation of this car. Basically the same car, but with a General Motors engine and kind of leveled out suspension. And those were built all the way up to 1982. So there are a lot of examples of this car, but
that's some staying power, though.
Yeah, and people were still interested in buying it, and they got almost celebrity level kind of treatment because they had, they got to pick out the color and the car was personally delivered to them. But this is the genuine original article here, the original Avanti.
Let's talk about a couple of the details here. You mentioned the Studebaker logos. We've got one here on the C-pillar on either side.
Yeah.
That's mirrored on the hood.
Yeah, in kind of an offset fashion. So there's some asymmetry in the front, which you don't see too often in cars.
I was just going to ask you
from the
about
early
that.
60s, yeah.
That level of asymmetry is not something you really see in cars today, frankly.
Not often, no.
What is that from a design perspective? Is that just trying to push the boundaries? Is that being playful? If a designer does that, what's the significance?
Well, asymmetry is something that you can do in an interior fairly easily.
Yes.
In an exterior, it's harder to sell. I think the reason it works on this car and some other cars that use asymmetry is it's kind of more of a graphic asymmetry. If you look at the front end is not really asymmetrical. It's more just that portion. Mm-hmm. The kind of bump.
It's more of a detail.
It's a detail, and that's how I think they get away with it.
This character line you mentioned as well.
This character line definitely slims the car down, makes it look very sleek. Little details like that really are what make a car go from good to great in terms of design.
Now, if the car did not have that, would it look that crease? Would it look just bulkier and heavier?
It would look bulkier and heavier and not as fast. That's for sure.
And with a supercharged V8 under the hood, this car should be properly fast. Also, I love, which I've never noticed before, the way they designed the bumper here.
Yeah.
It doesn't go just straight across. They've wrapped it around the fenders, across where the grille would be, and along to the other side there. Very complicated. Looks like it's 3 pieces, but there's a lot going on opposed to just a single stamping.
Yeah.
Well, we managed to find the owner of this car. His name is Steve. Beautiful vehicle, sir.
Thank you very much.
So what is this exactly?
A 63 Studebaker Avanti R2 supercharged car. Yeah.
How long have you owned it?
I've had it about 32 years. Only
32 years?
I bought it from the widow of the guy that ordered originally from the factory. In fact, his name is still on the plate inside the car, eh?
Wow. So number 2 owner then. That's it.
Number 2 owner, yeah.
Fascinating. Beautiful car, all original,
it's
right?
It's all original, yeah. Yeah, other than, of course, tires. And
the consumables.
Yeah, it's never been painted. The engine, transmission, never been out of it. Yeah, it's just the way it came. And and they were certified in the States. They were a certified milestone car because they had all these standard features that were new to the industry that became standard later on.
There is no car like the Avanti, an aerodynamic wedge designed to defy the wind. Shift with a unique new automatic transmission or the smooth 3 or 4-speed manual. And for safety's sake, the Avanti is the first American car to bring you the amazing stopping power of disc brakes.
See, this has got curved side glass. You won't find that in another American car for another 2 years. And they've got disc brakes, which came off the XKE. They had to go to England to get.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't forget the access to the trunk from the inside and
that's for the ladies.
and the built-in beauty
because
vanity.
we had, they had the little vanity for the ladies.
There it is.
But the idea was back in the day
vanity.
when you went to the restaurant, two couples,
Yeah.
the men would sit in the front and the women would sit in the back. And when you got to the restaurant, the women had no intention of paying, but they had their clutch purse, right? And if they took it in, they had to keep an eye on it. So what they could do
And
is...
if they take it in, there's a risk they might have to pay.
Well, that's true, too. So they put this little tab here, and they can lift the tab and slide their purse into the trunk, and no one sees or knows what's going on. It actually came standard with seat belts, and they didn't come in until '66.
Well ahead of its time.
But this car hasn't got them, and that's because the original owner, a guy in Cleveland, had them deleted because we didn't like them. No one wanted seatbelts back in the day.
It's safer to be thrown clear in a crash, right?
Well,
that's what they would say. Really quick, just talk about the air conditioning and the supercharging again.
Okay. Well, I'll show you under the hood if you want.
All right.
Yeah. So there's your supercharger over there, and you see the space it takes, the orange.
Yep.
So if you wanted an AC car, they didn't have room for it, so you'd have one or the other.
So you'd have speed with the supercharger,
or stay cool,
or you would stay comfortable with the air conditioning.
This car was over $5,000 in 1963.
That's not cheap.
Oh no, it was like Corvettes and more. So if you were, down in Texas, you're an executive down there, you'd want to stay cool, right?
Yeah.
So most of your southern cars are air cars, but this is a northern car, and that's why it's got the supercharger.
Yeah. And the engine is a 289, I believe you said?
289 cubic inch Studebaker engine. Full race engine.
Not a 289 Windsor small block Ford, a
no,
289
no.
Studebaker.
This is totally different. This is a gear-driven camshaft, so the camshaft turns in reverse, right? And they had, of course, they had dual-point ignition, all the trick stuff of the time, eh?
Yeah.
And solid lifters, and
So how's the performance today?
Good. It's very good, yeah. I mean, for 63, it was incredible, but it doesn't compare to this stuff today.
No.
1,000 horsepower. I mean, it's nuts, But they did, factory never rated it. The hot rod magazines claimed it was around 300 horse.
That'll get you down the road just fine.
Yeah, because being a fiberglass body, it's quite light. It's got a very heavy frame on it because it's got a convertible frame. So you've got lots of low weight, and then the light top, and handles really well.
What is your favorite aspect of your car here?
Well,
is it the performance? Is it the style? Is it the comfort?
I think it's the style.
The styling, because it's pretty unique. Let's be honest.
So different, and people just come up and say, "What is it?" They've just never seen them, eh?
Yeah.
And
We'll try to stay cool and hydrated. So thank you very much. So that's the Avanti, the first gen. Let's check out the Avanti II then, Jason. And what are the big differences?
Well, the big difference, first of all, is that Studebaker was out of business at this point.
That's a very good point, right?
Yeah. So what you had is two Studebaker dealers decided that they wanted to continue this car. So they bought the rights to the car, and they planned to continue on. The main differences between this car and the Studebaker built one is the suspension is slightly different. It's a bit more of a leveled out stance. Not quite. It's hard to see. You have to really look closely between the two, but it's just a very subtle change.
So they lifted the front slightly, you're saying? So it's less nose down?
Yeah, it's less nose down with this version. General Motors sourced engines in this case because obviously Studebaker wasn't going to source them anymore.
Yeah.
And you don't see any Studebaker crests on these cars, obviously. The other thing that you notice in this car, although the square bezels did appear for a brief period on the originals, you do have definitely square bezels on all of the Avanti IIs, and then you have the two next to Avanti.
That just doesn't do it for me. That looks very contrived.
Yeah, it doesn't really do it for me either. I prefer the round lenses on the originals back over here. I think they work a lot better, especially with the kind of theme that Loewy was cultivating with his design team. But these Avanti IIs were produced all the way up until 1982. There were a few other versions of the Avanti that were produced after that fact. It's definitely not that different, really, when you look at it from the original to this. There's the unfortunate things that are added to the Avanti II, in some cases, are this bumper guard and the luggage rack, which I do not care for. They really clutter up, which is otherwise a really clean design.
Yeah.
But that's the way it goes. It's hard to find a two that does not have this luggage rack on the back. I'll be looking through Avanti IIs for sale, and occasionally I'll find one where I'm like, aha, and then I go to the back view and I'm like, there's that luggage rack
ruins
again.
It for you, eh?
Yeah.
But beautiful. I mean, classic design was in production for what, nearly 20 years?
Long time.
Very long run over two different manufacturers, essentially. Yeah. So
it failed to save Studebaker, but it did have longevity after the fact, which is a really unique automotive story when you think about it.
And more importantly, it found a place in your heart.
It did. I love these cars so much. They're classic, they're timeless. The other thing I love about them, I want to say, if you look at the white one, which we looked at earlier with the wheel covers. That works perfectly in like a modern design environment, mid-century modern, in Palm Springs, California. It works in that venue, very modern design. But then if you paint it a gold color or a reddish color and put like red line wheels or mag wheels on the side of it, then it has a hot rod feel to it. It can live in different automotive realms, which frankly is not expected. I mean, most cars cannot do that, but the Avanti can.
Well, Jason, thank you so much for giving us a detailed tour of the Avanti, and I can see why this is your favorite car. It really is beautiful.
Thank you for the opportunity, Craig. I appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate it as well. But anyway, next up, we did another recent episode of Drawing Conclusions where we walk you through the entire car design process, and believe it or not, it's way more involved than you might ever expect. So click right here to check that episode out now.